What's up, A-Scene Insiders and Facebook Livers? Thanks so much for joining us this morning. I have a very, very special guest with me. Well, before I say her name, because obviously you see her, right? But you have seen her in Acrimony. You have seen her in Breaking In. Maybe you've also seen her, I don't know, in Grey's Anatomy and 13 Reasons Why. I'm talking about none other than Miss Ajiona Alexus. Welcome. We're so excited for you to be speaking with us. You are on a roll this year. I mean, you are just doing it. This is your year.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked really hard for it, so it's definitely been a blessing. Nothing but blessings on blessings.
So what's been the most favorite project so far?
All of them are so special and different in their own ways, so I've enjoyed every part of it. But as far as people, me and Gab, we had the most fun.
Love it.
The new show I just did, Light as a Feather, we had a young girls cast, and we all got along really well. We're all goofy, a little crazy, so that's always fun to have people, you know, in your same spirit.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that new show, Hulu. So it's on Hulu, guys. It's called Light as a Feather. And the thing I love about this show is that back in my day, if you will, I know I'm in my 20s, but back in my day, we used to play a game, Light as a Feather. And so now for it to be turned into a series on Hulu, I'm like, okay, like what is this about? So talk to me about the show.
You know, I heard of the game, but I didn't know what it was
Are you
until
serious?
People started to tell me about it. But it's like Light as a Feather,
Yeah.
Stiff as a board. So it's basically like 5 girls, we play this game where it's like you lay out and we're in a graveyard and you predict the deaths of how each one of us is going to die. And so creepily, or that's not a word, awkwardly, we all start kind of, you know, dying off how the girl predicted it was going to happen. So we're kind of figuring it out, like, is this a curse? Is this, like, what's going on? So it's, like, really creepy and spooky, but I think it's going to be a dope thing for Halloween time.
That is really eerie.
Yeah,
I know it comes out October 12th. I know y'all are probably wondering. But let's dive into that. So I think it's interesting that you kind of play some of these characters that are, the roles are kind of like in the 80s, for like on Empire when you played the young Cookie, or this show. I mean, Light as a Feather is a replica of a game that was heavy in the 90s. So, you know, how do you tap into that younger
I think
era?
just doing your research and just making sure you're actually in tune with the character and what you're doing. But I'm always very excited to be able to show different aspects of me as an actress and to go through those different time periods and show how versatile I am. So I'm just so happy for people to continue to see different sides of me.
Yeah. So with the new show, where are y'all shooting at? What was it like working with the cast? Did you really like them? Did y'all have girl fights, cat fights?
We
what?
didn't.
Be honest.
We didn't. We were like real chill. Like we're super chill.
Yeah.
We have wine nights. We chill, drink. You know, we really bonded with this cast. We shot it in LA, so
Okay.
it was dope. I stay in LA anyway, so it wasn't bad. It was like chill. It was really, really, really fun.
And so I know that you guys, well, you've worked with, I mean, Taraji P. Henson. You've also worked with Gabrielle Union. Who was your favorite? I know you said Gabrielle, but
Everyone's always so special. in
Right,
their own
okay.
ways. I really do. I have fun with everyone, and I feel like, but for Gab, the reason we bonded so well was because I actually have scenes with her. As far as whenever I've done a project with Taraji, it's been more so like flashbacks, so we never really fully worked together. So I actually had that experience with Gab. So I think that's why we kind of had that, like,
Yeah,
you know, we're on
totally.
set together 4 a.m. in the morning, like,
hey girl,
yeah.
hey girl. Who are you most looking forward to working with in your career? You're only 22 years old, but it seems like the sky is the limit for you.
I know, it's so many. I admire and look up to so many people in many ways. I really love Zoe Saldana and Angelina Jolie and Cameron Diaz, Rachel McAdams, Jessica Lange. Those are some of my faves.
Will you be shooting in Atlanta anytime soon? You know, this is a big film capital.
Possibly.
Really?
Possibly. I have some other projects in the works right now, but it's not confirmed. But I know one of them actually filmed in Atlanta, so we'll see how that pans out.
What is this, like a TV show or like
a secret.
film? We want to know. Maybe Tyler
We don't
Perry?
know yet, so we'll see. No, yes.
Okay, we're not knocking on the doors. Well, I know we have a few questions also from fans as well. So I want to go ahead and bring in come on, Ryan. Ryan's our A-Scene producer.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Ryan.
Did you write these?
Hey, Ryan.
Oh, you wrote these?
And our A-Scene insight, he transcribed the questions that they asked. All right, so our first one. Your favorite on-screen mom? I guess that's...
Yeah.
Gabrielle, okay, there's that. Okay.
I've had some good moms, though. I've had some other really good.
Dream vacation.
Ooh. I'm a very beachy girl, so something that's like tropical. I would want to go to Rio. Rio would be really like magical. I love the ocean. So.
That's a beautiful place. Okay, let's see what's next. Who do we have? What's this one? Finish this line. I can't start my day without.
Without some good music.
Oh, really?
I wake up and I have to play music right away. Like, just like, I'll literally wake up like with just like the craziest song in my head.
Really?
Like, singing,
And I don't know.
and I just wake up and I have to play it.
And some of y'all may not know this, but you know she sings too. Like this girl is a triple threat. I mean, my first, the cover that I heard from you was Sia, Chandelier. I was like, you are. I don't sing at all, by the way, but you are bomb. No, don't do that. Don't feed into this. Guilty pleasure. What is your guilty pleasure, Ajiona?
Chips. I cannot. I eat Pringles like every single day. Sour cream and onion. I just can't get away from them. It's like when I have one, I have
Sour
to just
cream.
keep going.
Oh, girl. Oh, my guess. Okay, favorite binge-worthy show besides, of course, your 13 Reasons Why.
I love American Horror Story, Bates
Really?
Motel, and The Comeback is on HBO. And I just started watching Imposters.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Got a healthy palate there. Let's do a couple more. So, any new music?
Yes.
Let's talk.
I was in the studio last night until like 4 a.m. So I came straight here.
You're joking.
Yeah. So whenever I have any free time, I'm always in the studio.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Grind. Y'all grind because you literally had like a 6 a.m. hair appointment here.
Yeah.
So that means she only got like an hour and a half, 2 hours of sleep, y'all. This is what I'm talking about. Let me ask you that then. You know, you're 22 years old. There are a lot of aspiring actors out there who would love to be in your position, would love to have multiple projects under their belt and work with some of the biggest actors in the world that you've already worked with. What are some of your tips for these people who want to achieve that success?
You have to be able to, first off, know your vision. You have to have a clear vision of what you want to do, because if you don't, you can be pulled in so many different directions and you can get caught up in other things. So I think it's very important to know where you want to go, know where you want to be, and hold on to your self-worth in the process of it all.
And my last question for you, where do you see yourself going? Where do you see, what's next for you?
Very far. I definitely want to tour very soon as far as musically. So that's a big dream of mine. Definitely getting the music side together. And just more films. And like, I don't think everyone's really seeing what I'm capable of as an actress. So like I say, it's always so many fields that can be filled. And I think one of my purposes is showing women and young African American women that you shouldn't limit yourself, and the sky's the limit. So kind of opening doors for those roles that's not really out there for young African American girls, and showing people that you can make it happen.
I was looking at an interview that you did, and you mentioned that I think it was like what type of sandwich would you be? And it was like, it was something, yeah, and it was like it would be a sandwich that would just be too much to handle. I would be this tall. And her answer, the reason why was because she said, I feel like oftentimes I'm just too much to handle, or people underestimate me. They don't realize how much I can, and I loved that answer. So I wanted to ask you further, why do you feel like people aren't aware of all that you bring to the table?
One thing for me is not to be like, I'm fine, but it's like when you're really beautiful, I think the stereotypical sense that comes with being beautiful and young is like, oh, she doesn't know much, like she doesn't have the knowledge, she doesn't have the foundation.
Yeah.
And so for me to actually come from a background and a family who's about education and about self-worth and all these things that come together with being a solid human being, I think that really blows people's mind. And so when you first meet me, they have this perception of who I am already, you know, which I'm totally different. I'm in a totally different headspace, and it's like my age, so everything is just like people have, you know, they just already assume what you'll be like before they even really get to know you.
22, but very knowledgeable, very intelligent. I mean, not just brains, but a lot of, or not just beauty, excuse me, but a lot of brains. So we are so excited that you stopped by and you gave us kind of a slice of what you're working on. I mean, I'm just like, how the heck do you juggle it all? Producer Ryan, did I miss anything?
Ties to the Atlanta area.
Oh, of course.
Hi.
Yeah, I know you're from Alabama, and I know you live in Los Angeles, but are there any ties when it comes to the industry to Atlanta?
Well, my family's here, so when we moved from Alabama, we first came here. So I lived here for about a year and a half, and then I was bi-coastal from Atlanta to LA. But my mom and dad, they're still here, so I come here a lot just to, you know, chill and see them or to work.
Do you ever think about maybe moving back to Atlanta?
Not really, honestly, to be honest.
It's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I like LA just because I like beaches and I like the weather.
Is there something that you feel like Los Angeles offers in the industry that Atlanta doesn't?
For sure. When I was in Atlanta at first, I feel like opportunities were kind of secondhand here. And so you kind of got firsthand choices, and you had more accessibility to roles when you're in LA for sure.
Wow. Thank you so much. Well, shoot, you have a lot of access to all these roles. We're talking Acrimony, Breaking In, Grey's Anatomy, the list goes on, Young Cookie and Empire, and now Light as a Feather. On Hulu, October 12th. That's her latest project, but I'm sure there are so many more. I think in a few months we'll also be hearing that Miss Ajiona Alexus will be touring. Yeah, I'm inspired. Every single time I speak to folks and young people especially, I am inspired. So chime in. Make sure you also tweet her and Instagram her. What are your...
Ajiona Alexus, Ajiona, Alexus, Alexus.
Maybe she'll write you back. Make sure you catch her out on Hulu, October 12th. Thanks, guys.